Okay, so today you're going to be looking at representative specimens from Annelida. And so these are also called segmented worms. Again, worm is sort of a generic term for anything with a long, skinny body. And so the two specimens you're going to be looking at, one is Nereus, and so this is actually an annelid that lives in sort of very shallow, muddy flats, sea flats. So it's marine. And we have specimens. You're not going to cut this one open because it's really hard to see the inside structures. What's really interesting with these guys is that they have the things that look like legs, but they're not legs. They're called parapodia, and they're sensory organs. And so they run all along the body. And so when you're looking at the specimen, you're supposed to look at this under the dissecting scope and really focus on the head. And on the head, you can see all these things that you'll label that are basically structures for feeding or for manipulating prey. You do have a cross-section of the same species, and you're going to have to label the inside of the body. And what's interesting with annelids is they all have a true coelom. And so you'll see in both these cross-sections, you'll see a lot of empty space. And you're actually, that's part of what you're supposed to do is identify what is the gut, what is the coelom, what are other organs. And then you also have a whole mount of a parapodia. So they basically took one of the little structures that you see on the specimen, slapped it down on a slide and stained it. And so you'll also have to label that. And then when we go over here, this specimen is basically an earthworm. And so you're going to do a dissection. Some of the structures are a little hard to see. The blood vessels all look black because it's dead and it's not injected with any dye. So that's kind of one thing to look for to orient yourself. All the neat dissections is in the first third of the animal. So you don't have to cut the whole thing open, just that first third. And then you also have a slide that is the cross section. And these cross sections are going to look somewhat similar in what you're labeling. But again, they're two different specimens. Earthworms do not have any of those parapodia, and they live in really different environments. Yeah, and I think that's about it.